In the swamp of Oak Island, searchers have discovered a 500-year representation of what may have looked like. They have found part of a wall that matches an ancient map from the 1300s, hints at Templar treasure, or even a dam built to cover something huge, possibly a secret vault. The location is at the top edge of the swamp, where many strange things have already been found, such as tools, wood, rocks, and other items. The timber they pulled out was not just any random hunk of wood, it was a solid 12 in wide piece that looked like it was placed there on purpose. Just as they were clearing the muck, they noticed a glint of metal wedged right beside the wood. This isn't just any random hunk of wood. It matches old treasure hunter stories, especially from a guy named Fred, who always believed a wall was buried up there to keep secrets in. As more stuff was found, giant boulders appeared, arranged like someone wanted them there for a reason. If someone went through all that trouble to build a wall and then throw big rocks around in order, they must have been hiding something huge, something worth keeping safe, or even something worth dying for. The team started cleaning the area off, trying to make sense of what they were seeing, and the deeper they went, the more it looked like a design. More digging revealed layers of packed dirt sitting on top of smooth-cut boards, water-stained planks that had clearly been shaped by tools nails that looked hand-forged. This was not random, but rather a man-made trick. The deeper they went, the more it looked like they were peeling back layers of time like pages in a history book made from mud and wood every time they lifted something out of the ground. Under the puzzle, a thick, heavy section of timber with squared edges matched old drawings and maps, suggesting that the swamp was made on purpose, like covering treasure with a blanket of water and weeds. If that wall was part of a dam, it might have blocked water to shape the swamp just right. The place started feeling like a hidden construction site, a place where secrets could be kept forever. The story revolves around a mysterious swamp where a massive structure was once built and then buried, possibly a tunnel, vault, or boat slip. Theories about the purpose of this digging have been circulating, with some suggesting it was planned by pirates hiding loot from the crown, others questioning if it had ties to ancient groups with secrets to keep. The swamp is covered in layers of mud, and hard-packed ground, which took time to settle. The team began to uncover strange shapes, beams, logs, and smaller pieces that appeared to be parts of a trapdoor. The wood turned up, resembling an underground room or edge of one. As the tools began to ping off solid rock beneath the wooden layer, excitement shot through the group. They started mapping out the area, marking spots where the strange layout repeated every mark on their charts. They found a coconut fiber, a structure hidden deep underwater and mud. They checked old maps, reread journals of past diggers, and tried to match what they found with drawings from centuries ago. Some of the wood they found lined up almost perfectly with old legends, suggesting a hiding spot had been built near the north part of the swamp. Fred, a prospector, believed there was more to the swamp than just mud and bugs. He thought that a man-made dam or wall had been built to keep secrets buried. Now, after years of digging, the secrets might be ready to show themselves. The swamp is filled with stone ramps, smooth patches, pieces of wood stuck in strange places, and what looks like roads. This place doesn't look wild anymore, but it looks like a construction site. One chunk of wood was found pinned against a rock, not drifting there, but rather cut like it had a job. It could be part of a frame or structure, holding something in place or a piece of a trap to protect whatever was beneath their feet. Fred, a man who spent decades in the swamp, believed that the swamp had a story to tell. Every step he took, every hole he dug, was to hear what the mud had to say. When he spoke of a wall on the north side of the bog, he wasn't guessing, but he was sure he believed it was hiding something bigger than anyone. People are still searching for this wall, using new tools and finding new signs. Some signs are simple, like stones that line up in perfect rows, while others are more complex, like paths connecting from one mystery to another. The swamp is filled with paths, smooth spots, strange cuts in the wood, and stacked stones, all of which point to people who came long ago with a mission. As they continue their investigation, they uncover further pieces of a much greater puzzle, each of which could lead them to something enormous that individuals may have sacrificed their lives to safeguard. Putting marks down, charting where the boulders go, measuring the height, verifying every angle, and working on passing down stories of what was buried and how to protect it are all things that the next generation is doing to continue the job. It is possible that the payoff will be quite remarkable if the wall turns out to be real. The Earth is carrying on a conversation, The rocks are arranging themselves in a line to share their stories, and the wood is keeping its secrets hidden until someone notices them. As they proceeded deeper into the ground, the stranger things became, and the ground was not yet finished talking. At long last, the treasure from the edifice that ought not to exist is available. There are hunters all around the world who are keeping an eye on dreamers and explorers, waiting for that one great moment when the last stone is moved, and what has been concealed for millennia is finally made available to the public. In spite of the fact that nobody knows exactly what they will discover, the clues are beginning to mount up, and everyone has a feeling that the truth is getting closer. Not only is this a wall in the middle of a swamp, but it is also the beginning of something monumental that will be written about in history books and remembered for all time. It is possible that the swamp is the beginning of something much larger than anyone could have ever imagined, and as a result, the world may never be the same again. There are still many portions of the marsh that have not been developed, and the roots that are still winding around the old stones are using nature's lock to keep them in place. These regions have not yet made their voices heard, but when they do, the responses might be quite loud. There is a certain region in the far north that is particularly peculiar because the air there is heavier than it normally is, and people mark the place with more powerful equipment. They dig gently, taking care not to harm anything they could find, and showed respect for whatever has been waiting for a sufficient amount of time. Some of the pieces of wood appear to be recently split, but they are actually ancient and have been preserved in mud under a shield from the air. Some of the fragments have a shape that is almost identical to that of a floor or a dock, while others are full of grooves and weird marks that do not correspond to anything that happens in the present world. The earth's aroma becomes more opulent, resembling the scent of history, with a scent that is mingled with the moisture of moss and something harsh. More energy is brought in with each excavation, and each discovery brings in even more energy. Alternately, it may be the boundary of a chamber or a cover rather than a wall, or it could be a new line of rocks that runs across the original one, like a cross. It could be a time capsule from the past that has been carefully sealed and buried with secrets, and, if it is real, it could be untouched, not plundered, and not damaged. It becomes very evident that the marsh was not only utilized, rather, it was built, crafted, and engineered in such a way as to deceive anyone who came within a reasonable distance. Some individuals are of the opinion that this wall may have been constructed in order to conceal something or to conceal the swamp in the manner of a massive dam. During his exploration of the marsh, a guy called Fred Nolan discovered a wall-like shape. Subsequently, he discovered an extremely old map, probably dating back to the 1300s, that had the same wall indicated on it. According to the findings of a scholar by the name of Lagena, the Templars, who were ancient knights, might have been present on the island. The actual question that has to be answered is whether the swamp was constructed to conceal something or to shield us from it. As the evidence continues to accumulate, the main question that has to be answered is whether the swamp was constructed to conceal something or to shield us from it.